I don't have anxiety. I'm not gonna be eaten by a bear when I message Susan about the wraps. Shut up, go eat something, take a poop, come back because you got this. You'll post about COVID, you'll post about your kid's first day of school, you'll post about your job that you hate. I don't care if it sucks. I don't care. Do it. I need dollars. There is someone doing it for that exact same reason. They're telling themselves they can. Show you working at night with your kids jumping on your back. Oh my God. I don't even have my nails done. My house is a mess. Oh my God.
Remember when we said we'd stay together now until forever? Just us, just us.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Hickson, and I spent 5 years working my way up to the top of an MLM before realizing they're just not all that they're cracked up to be. My goal with this channel is to rescue some Huns, to prevent some from becoming Huns, and to also give those a voice who have left the Hunbot industry like myself.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
Today's small business shout out goes to AKNAID, QUARTZ, and Pearls. I'm probably butchering the way that you say that, but it's AKNAID, QUARTZ, and Pearls by Dee Dee. They have beautiful and trendy pieces elaborated from freshwater cultured pearls and beautiful natural gemstones of very good quality and at excellent prices, among very many other things. They have some absolutely beautiful custom pieces, so you guys should definitely go check them out. They also are offering 15% off using the code JESS15OFF. And of course, as always, I will leave all of their links in the description below. That's all the shout outs I have for you guys today, so let's go ahead and get on with today's video. So some of you guys are going to be absolutely thrilled to hear what we have on the agenda for today. If you're an OG on this channel, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about, but if not, let me just give you a little bit of insight into what type of person we're going to be covering today. At the very start of this channel, we covered a lot of who we refer to as our original favorite girl. This girl is within It Works, and she's known for her tough love. She's known as a red personality. To any of the former Huns out there, you probably know what that means, but for those of you who don't know what that means that she is very loud, obnoxious. She says what you need to hear or what she thinks you need to hear. She gives it to you like it is, she says. She doesn't sugarcoat things. She just goes ahead. She just goes in head first to every single training that she does. So we covered her a lot at the beginning of this channel. I don't know why I'm talking with my hands so much. I think it's because I have my camera at a different angle today, and so you can see my hands, so I feel like I need to do something with my hands. I don't know. Anyways, we talked about her a lot toward like the beginning of this channel, and then she stopped putting her trainings online because I was covering them. At least I assume that's why she stopped putting them online. However, she has begun putting them online again, which, let me just mention, I find this very interesting. So you guys remember Dominic Izzo, the one who was harassing me about my child selling bracelets online. I'm sure you guys remember that entire saga. He was an absolute nightmare to deal with. He threatened me with the cops. He said I was prostituting my child out. Like, he was a nightmare. He is a nightmare. He's like the worst type of person to deal with. Anyways, similarly, this Hun we're going to be covering today is also arguably one of the worst types of people to deal with. So I found it very interesting that Dominic Izzo shouted this Hun out on his story not too long ago. So anyways, it really makes me wonder how that relationship came about, considering I've had like issues with both of them, you know? Also, I'm happy to report, if you didn't see on Julie Jo or DC's Instagram, I'll link them both down below, their channels and their Instagram, but it was revealed to me that Dominic actually got his entire YouTube channel shut down for too many community violations. So in my eyes, justice served. Obviously, he's not going to stop doing what he does. He still has other platforms. He'll probably grow another YouTube channel. But in my eyes, those videos are taken down because his entire channel got shut down. So that's a win for me. Anyways, today we're going to be reacting to our original favorite girl's team training that she put on YouTube. This Zoom is an hour and a half long, so this may be like a 2, maybe even 3-part series. But, you know, our favorite girl, our original favorite girl, always gives us a good show. So so I can assure you that this is probably going to be no different. I am going to be just doing a screen recording because of storage issues on my computer. So we may have to like go through a few ads, but that's okay. We're going to get through it and it's going to be worth it. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right in.
All right, you guys, how are you? Happy Monday. Texted my babysitter. I said, hey, are you available Tuesday? I said, oh my God, that's it's tomorrow. How about that? All right. Pin, do you see my face? How's it going, you guys? Yay. All right. So excited to see you guys here tonight. I have an amazing topic. He said, what do you want to talk about tonight? I said, whatever happens. You know what I mean? That's how I roll. I don't plan anything until like 5 minutes before. So really quick, you guys, if you can, just undo your cameras. I love to be able to see you. Up top, I see Eric. We've got Kira, her picture. Jetta. I've never seen you before, Jetta. Hello. Jennifer. We got my girl, Sarah.
So what she's doing right now, she's going off and she's listing all of the people whose cameras she sees on. I think this is for a couple of different reasons. One, to create that personal connection with them, to make them be like, oh my gosh, she notices me. Two, to make the people who don't have their cameras on feel bad for not having their cameras on and feel like they have to put their camera on too if everyone else is. And three, so that people like me can't go Zoom crash her Zooms, because if the camera's on, she'll be able to see who I am. Although that would be so fun one of these times, to actually go on there with my camera on and see if she recognizes my face.
Up in Canada. Vanessa, Carmen. All right, you guys, I'm so excited for you tonight. So we're going to talk about something really important to me, equally ironic as well. And how many of you guys feel like one of the main reasons, you know what? I'm going to put on one of my team's Limitless bracelets. I had these bracelets made for my team. I'm in the ER hooked up to a heart monitor. What? Ashley, what is happening? Are you okay? Is it just anxiety? God, that's scary. Okay, well, listen, that's commitment.
I was waiting to pause it because I was hoping she wasn't going to like commend her on being on the Zoom while she's in the ER attached to a heart monitor. But we're not even 2 minutes into this Zoom yet, and she's already like, good job. That's commitment. Being on the team Zoom while you're literally in the emergency room hooked up to a heart monitor. It's giving cult.
Gosh, yes, I hope you feel better. I don't want anything to do with hospitals anymore. I had these really cute, you can't see it, they say Limitless on them, bracelets made for our team. I had a reaction. Oh my God. Okay, well, we hope that you feel better. Okay, you guys, so we're going to talk tonight all about time management. Okay, now I want you guys to just comment below and I want you to tell me if like one of the main things that gets you so like frustrated and worked up about your business is you just feel like you can never get your wrap your hands around it. You've got kids. So I want you guys just take a second. I want you to just comment below and I want you to tell me about your crazy life. What do you got? You got kids, you got 5 kids, you got jobs, you got a human. You got the animals, the school. What you got? 5 kids, husband, a work full time, 3 babies. Yes. 5 kids, single mom. Yes. Full-time job and pets. Okay. So here's the deal. How many of you guys are like, so before I started this business, the reason why, I want you to drop a 1 if you agree. You can't drop a 1 yet because I didn't say. But I want you guys to drop a 1 below if you were like, literally the reason why I chose this business is because in a world where I need extra money, doing it from my phone is honestly the best case scenario. Because how else am I supposed to like have a part-time job when I have we got like you guys got a bell and chip. You got you're like, when do I?
I'm obviously going to be editing out all of the names that she's saying, but she's saying you've got a husband basically, and then she names all 3 of her kids. So she's like creating that personal connection, relating with them on a level that's like, oh, I have exactly what you have and I'm still successful.
Brush my teeth. on Tuesdays. That's when I remember. Whenever 5 p.m. I've had those days. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some of my tips. And of course I didn't bring my planner in here, but that's fine. I'm going to give you guys some hard tips, some hard training tonight. I want you guys to know that I have spent like just a lot of money on coaches developing myself. I'm someone that walks the earth with ADHD. And so I am like overstimulated at all times. That's why if anybody ever sees me, I was really fine with like 1, maybe 2 kids, but 3 like completely draws the line. And I like can't, my brain already has 5 things going at one time at all times. So when my outer thing, it's my son. I'm on Zoom. Are you okay?
We're like 5, 10 minutes, 6 minutes away.
Okay. Well, when you get here, just make sure you're quiet. She's in the living room, okay? Tell Daddy that.
Daddy's in the living room.
She's watching her iPad, so if he could like put her away. All right, I gotta go though. I love you.
Okay, love you.
Bye. Okay.
I cannot. Oh, I cannot. The time freedom, but you're leaving your child. How old is that child? I'm going to go look.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, so this child she's talking about that she has in the living room by herself with her iPad looks to be about 3, maybe. So her child's home alone watching their iPad in the other room while she's doing this Zoom, and she's telling her kid who just FaceTimed her, okay, hurry up, I have to go. Be quiet when you get in here. Like, that doesn't sound like time freedom, babe. Not even a little bit. Oh, good God. Oh, this is going to be a great one, considering we're not even 5 minutes into this, and I already have so much to say. I missed her. We missed you, original favorite girl. We have missed you.
She's like a dog.
And I forgot about that part. She was like, tell your dad to put her away. Put her away. As if your child is a piece of silverware. Like, what? Oh my gosh.
Stupid. It's fine. I'm like sweating. Boob sweat. No, it's fine. Anyways, like whatever. So I've spent a lot of money on coaches to becoming a very, very like high functioning person. I want you guys to know, first thing that I want you guys to know is I will not be able to tell you anything that's going to sprinkle magic on your life. That's all of a sudden going to make you grow wings and just become this like incredible, like Instagram blogger, white couch, whatever. But what I am going to tell you is that your house can look like this and you can be really, really successful being how you are. Now, I know that there's going to be, you know, some people who are like, oh my God, I could never, my brain, I wouldn't be able to function. My brain can't do 100 things. Like my brain can't do it. I'm physically.
Yo, I can relate to that. I see people who have their houses so nice and fresh and clean. And then I see my house, like I'm not even going to take the time to turn the camera around. Maybe I'll just take a little clip and then I'll insert the clip and what my situation looks like right now. Just 1 second. Okay, so that's my current situation, and I see people just like, oh my gosh, I could never. Or like when I upload screenshots of my text messages and it says I have like 400 text messages or whatever, people are just like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? Here's the thing with ADHD. Tell me if you can relate to this if you have ADHD. The mess stresses me the F out, but the thought of cleaning the mess also stresses me the F out. So if I sat here, I get what's called, I forget what they call it, like something paralysis. I'll sit here and just think, like dwell on the fact that this house needs to be cleaned. These text messages need to be cleaned up. Like I need to do this, that, and the other, but my brain sits there and breaks it into these little tasks, so I never get any of it done. Yeah. The text messages stress me the F out. You know what also stresses me the F out? The thought of deleting them and maybe I'll need them someday. Like, what? I don't know. I don't control how my brain works. It just works like that. But I understand what she's saying. Some people see my house and they're just like, I could never. Like, the mess would... There's a huge bug on my window. The mess would totally stress me out. And yeah, same. The mess totally stresses me out, but it also stresses me out to think about cleaning it, and I just can't do it. So we just work with what we got.
Created to do those things. And as a busy mom of 3, there's things in my life that I've had to choose right now in my life what's most important. And we'll go over that as well, okay? So you guys are probably going to want some...
Interesting. You choose in your life. She said, I choose right now what is most important. So considering the fact that her child is in the other room on their iPad while she's on this Zoom, and her kid that's on their way home, she said, come in quietly and put the little girl away, it's pretty clear where her priorities are.
Something to write with. If you guys want to, like, if I talk about something, give me some emojis, like show me when you're really feeling something that I'm talking about that means something to you. So that way I know if I need to go deeper, ask a lot of questions. And then we're just going to like
go deeper. Why do I feel like they just make these weird sexual references all the time? Like, why are we pouring into people? Why are we needing to go deeper? Could we just stop? Let's just talk like normal people.
Operate into it, okay? Jennifer's putting her hair up. She's like, I need this in my life. Let's go. Okay, so number one, I want you guys to know that I personally have never been an organized person in my whole entire life, okay? I remember when I first started my business and I was enrolling people, but it was on like a whim. Like my follow-up Friday consisted of me just going down my friends list and like following up with random people. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, oh my God, I forgot her. And I forgot about her and her and her and her and her and her. And I kept forgetting about people. And I never had any sort of system of organization. I have blood sweat right now. Oh my God. I'm going to grab my planner so that way I can give you guys like better visual aids. I've just never been a planner person. And this girl named Amanda, her and I both started at the exact same time. She completely changed my life when she told me that she organizes all of her potentials with a planner. And I just was like, like that just sounds miserable. And it was October. I
could not. Like, I can't even tell you on 2 hands how many planners I bought in my life and how quickly I stopped using them. Like, I would get so excited the first month and I would write down everything I have to do in my planner and I would have daily tasks and I would, have it all organized. And then by like week 2 of that, couldn't tell you where that planner's at. What's happening with it. I guarantee you any planner you find in my house has like a month filled out and then it was never used again. Why am I like this? I don't know.
In my business for a year and it was like the longest October of my life because I would have to sit there and every single person that I talked to, I would write their names down. And it took me 1 month. It felt like my skin was going to peel right off of my body. But I have to tell you that was the moment that completely changed my life because I'm going to tell you 2 things. Number one, there's that saying that says, if you don't plan to win, then you plan to fail. And for me, that is utmost true in my life because I can't control any other living thing in this house other than myself. So that means, and this is what I'm going to tell you too, this will change your life, but it's not going to change the stresses that are outside of your body. What it's going to do is it's going to armor you to be able to control all of the stressors that you have yourself that you can control. So you can go out into the world, you can be a wife, you can be a partner, you can be a mom, you can be whatever you call someone who works at a job, employee. You can be an employee, you can be a dog mom, you can be a daughter, you can do all the student, you can do all the things. And
I'm still caught up on the fact that she pretended like she didn't know what an employee was called. Guys, that stuff is planned. It's one of those things where they get on their stories and they're like,
what day is it? I work from home, so I have no clue what day it even is.
It's one of those things. It's like,
I've been out of the industry so long that what are those things called that like work at a job? Oh, employee.
like you can carry it the best that you can feel it. And that is what allows me to go to bed at night and not feel stress. I've been doing this business for 9 years. How many of you guys, truthfully, you feel stressed? You're like, God, I get so frustrated at my kids. They're driving me nuts. I'm like sitting here, I'm trying to do things. They're not letting me. And then my husband comes home and then I feel like I have to stop everything that I'm doing or else he's going to, complain to me because he'll like walk in the door and be like, oh, what did you do today? You didn't do anything. You just sat on your phone. And you know what I mean? Like I've been there and I've done that. But I want to tell you something. If you're planning on being in this business for the rest of your life, which I hope you are, this industry, network marketing, I get paid exactly how I did the salon. That's how I get paid with this business. But I get to do it in my Little Mermaid shirt that has cherry juice on it from cutting cherries for my kids. And I get to be here and raise my family and be a mom to them in the way that my mom was just not able to be for me.
I want to talk about this. The first thing I want to say is they may not directly say, drop out of college, quit your job, XYZ. They may not directly say those things, but by saying things like, if you're going to be in this for the rest of your life, which I hope that you are, that's just like putting that thought in people's minds, putting the thought in people's mind that this could be a forever career for them, which is just not realistic for anyone. Like even her, I can guarantee you, I would be willing to put money on the fact that her business has tanked in the last year, 2 years, that her income is not anywhere near what it was when she started. I'd put money on it. Gosh, what was the other thing she said that I wanted to comment on? Oh, the fact that she's like, I want to be the mom that unfortunately my mom just couldn't be. Like when you're in an MLM, you're pressured to talk about people in your life and experiences in your life that may hurt the people closest to you. I'd be interested to know how her relationship with her mom is after she continues to bash her when she's telling her story. She continues to say that her mom wasn't the mom that she needed. Like, I just think those are things that people in MLMs don't think about in the moment. They're not thinking like, how is me telling this story going to hurt the people in my life that were involved in this story? But by saying those things as a top earner, she's encouraging the people in her downline to do the same thing, which is sad because they probably aren't putting 2 and 2 together. They're not realizing how it's going to affect everyone else in their family.
Because she had me in 89 when she was 18 years old and she was a single mom and the world was just not cut out for the single moms. Okay. And actually, I think my mom's going to be joining my business this month. It only took 9 years. But anyways, I'm really excited. Okay. So I want you guys to know that that's what this is for.
Imagine joining her business and her entire team knows that she has basically called you a shitty mom. That's part of her story every time she tells it. Imagine getting on Zoom with your daughter and her entire downline knowing that they all know that you were a shitty mom.
It's to arm you. It's to equip you. It doesn't mean anything's going to get easier. It's just going to make things run smoother. I want to take anxiety away and just make things feel like not even stressful. I want you guys to start looking at stress as in like, am I actually going to like cry or am I just sweating? Because there's a really big difference between, like truly though, we want to have this, it's called emotional intelligence, where you get to look at your surroundings, have an out-of-body experience and realize that the stuff that's going on in my life, I'm actually not stressed out. I don't have anxiety. I'm not going to be eaten by a bear when I message Susan about the wraps after she commented on my post, right? You are just stressed. Like hold on. Hi, love you. Give me a kiss. You okay? You look really tired.
I got stung 4 times by bees at me.
Do you need stuff? Give me a kiss. Okay, belch about. Belch about.
I'm not sure so bad. I missed you. My legs hurt so bad.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Love you. Go. Okay, stop twerking. Shut the door, please. Shut the door.
Oh, I got my green mojo from Lily.
Shut the door. Good job. Shut the door.
And I'm capturing on.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just so sad. Like, she was outwardly expressing that she was annoyed that her kid was trying to tell her something that he did that day. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but he was telling her about some accomplishment. And she's like, okay, get out. Good job. Get out. It's so freaking sad, dude. Like, she's sitting here preaching about, do you feel stressed? Do you feel like you're just always on edge with your kids and they're always getting in the way of your work and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm going to tell you the answer while simultaneously getting annoyed with her kids because they're interrupting what she's doing. Like, babe, practice what you preach.
He is. He's 10. Have any of you guys been around since I was literally like breastfeeding him on my videos that I did? It's crazy. Okay. But anyway, so that's what this whole thing is for. Okay. So just so you guys know, organization isn't a fad. It allows you not to have to think. These are notes that I made. I'm not reading from someone's stuff. I wrote, organization is not a fad. It allows you to not have to think about things so you can go through your normal day feeling like you can accomplish the things that you need to do. Okay. So we talked about what happens when you're okay. So what happens when you're overwhelmed? All right. What do we have to do every day, you guys? He was twerking. My mom called me one day because apparently I FaceTimed her. She was crying. I said, what's wrong? She goes, Jade, your son just showed me how he can twerk. And I think he showed me how he can twerk in 8 different positions. And I will just never look at him the same. And I felt so bad because then he showed me and it was like really horrifying. But anyways, you can't see it, but I have a little list here. This is actually what I send to my new distributors that get started so they can kind of see what they need to do every single day. I'm going to read it to you guys so you guys can take notes. But the main thing here, okay, is that you guys want to work smarter, not harder. When I talk to, how many of you guys were ever a distributor once upon a time and maybe you got started again? I would love to see how many of you guys, because we have more people getting restarted in this business now than we have ever had. And I think that it's a few different things. Number one, it could be just the timing of the person's life. It could be maybe the training and support. Like, I'm not going to dog someone else's, uplines and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I didn't have an upline, right? And I was still able to make it. But I think that now is the most beautiful time to get started in this business because of the innovation that we're having. We have, oh my God, like, you guys don't even know. You don't even know the new products that are coming, the direction that we're going, the leadership that we're having. We are like completely blowing up as like a global entity, which we have been global, but like.
She's trying. She is trying hard. The thing is, It Works had an Australia team that was actually pretty large. And I heard through the grapevine, and don't quote me on this because I'm not positive, but I heard through the grapevine that they shut down Australia in the blink of an eye. So for her to be putting it in a way that's like, we're gonna like blow up as a global entity. Like, you were a global entity and then things were not going how they expected them to, and they became not such a global entity. So things are not better than ever. They're more desperate than ever to save their businesses.
Just, it's so different, you guys. Like, I feel like we're going from this like mom and pop, like cafe, hole in the wall kind of cafe type thing into this like crazy global like enterprise. I'm so excited for it. Okay. Okay. What happens when you feel, okay. So what happens when you feel when you're overwhelmed? Sorry, I took notes for this exact reason because I knew I was going to be distracted. And,
hold on. Do we remember at the beginning of this call when she was like, I don't plan anything, so-and-so asked me what we're going to talk about on this Zoom. And I just said, whatever happens, because that's what I do. I don't plan anything. I just wing it. And now she just said she took notes. So like, which is it?
I've been gone since Thursday. When we're overwhelmed, what do?
That's even sadder. Like, her husband and child have been gone for an extended period of time. I'm sorry, I'm pausing this so much because I haven't heard from our original favorite girl in a really long time. So this is all like exciting and new to me. Okay. And I'm also playing with my hair a lot because I haven't curled my hair in a long time. And I just am a perfectionist and I see little imperfections and I'm like, ugh. Anyways, she said her kid and husband had been gone since Thursday. I don't know what day it is when she's filming this, but the fact that her kid and husband have been gone that long, and she's like, hey, when your dad gets home, tell him to put the other kid away. And also her kid tried to come in and tell her about the stuff that he did that day and give her a hug and a kiss. And she's like, okay, go, go, go. But they've been gone for an extended period of time. Like, love on your kids, love on your family. That's what time freedom is.
Implode. How many of you guys have imploded? You were like, I was supposed to post today and do TikToks. I had the best intentions. I was going to go live and I was going to do this and I was going to do that. And instead, I watched a full season of Grey's Anatomy, and it was a great season. Lots of people died. We all have done that. Okay. So again, this goes back down to your planning. Okay. You're planning. Yeah, you clean the bathroom. All of a sudden, you clean that closet that you have not touched in 9 years, but today is the day that you needed to clean it. Chip out. Oh, okay. Great. So hopefully you guys understand that I definitely know what you guys are we're talking about. Okay, number one, if you guys have not purchased this book, this is by Ed Milet. It's called The Power of One More. It is so freaking good, okay? And in here, Ed Milet has talked about something that has like completely transformed my productivity. So when you're not feeling like you're getting a lot of stuff done, what you're actually not having is a form of productivity. And productivity is just the rate to which you get things done and how much you get done in what amount of time. So if you guys ever need like specific help, because this is the kind of person I am. I don't need a leader, and I don't need to have someone there telling me what to do, because I'm a problem solver, and I want you guys to be a problem solver. I want you to say to yourself, what are the things that make me so self-conscious in my business? This is you taking ownership of your success, because success doesn't just happen to you. It's something that you choose to do. How do I do that? I'm like, I suck at taking pictures. How do I take pictures? I'm like really terrible at productivity. How can I be better at productivity? And I look it up on YouTube because it's free. So anything that you guys feel like you want to know how to make a TikTok, you want to know how to make really cute videos of like coffee. I don't care what it is. You want to know how to bake a loaf of bread. You need to like take initiative, take control over your business, and learn how to do these things. But don't spend too much time on trying to fix stuff that doesn't actually matter, okay? If I sat here and I was like, how do I be a super crispy, clean mom with like just everything, like I want to be perfect, that's going to be a waste of time, because I just like chemically cannot do that for my soul. But what I can do is learn how to be productive in like short amount of time, right? Does that make sense? I'm shy with that too. I'm shy when I go live. I don't know if you guys make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. Go to my Instagram and go to my reels. And my reel from yesterday, I literally recorded a small little video of my very first live. I don't even know if we had live. So I think I literally just like recorded a video and then posted it to Facebook because there wasn't live, of my very first one. And do you know what my video was of? Everybody could see my crooked nose. Hey guys. I just have everybody asking me about how I went executive in my business. And so I just thought I would tell you how I went executive. And you know what? Nobody asked me how I could go executive. Nobody. But when you act like, you want to know what laundry soap my grandma buys?
Guys, I have missed her so much. Like, she just says the quiet part, like, loud and proud. She's just like, nobody asked me how I went executive. But I lied and said they did. Do you want to know what kind of laundry soap my grandma uses? No. Like, what? No. This is fun.
The one that's almost sold out, because she thinks everybody wants it. Does anybody else have a grandma like that? She normally uses Tide, but damn, if all of the gain is almost gone for the new one, she's going to buy that one. Everybody wants that one thing that everybody else is doing, right? No one wants to dance at prom or at a wedding until there's that one person that gives someone else permission. And so that's the secret to lives. It's sucking it up embracing being really terrible at it. And guess what? 100 lives in, you're going to be damn good. People ask me all the time, how do you do what you do? I'm just talking with a friend. It's no big deal. Okay. So in this book, Ed Milet talked about something that just like slayed my day. He talked about having a 21-day work week. And I was like, holy hell. I would love to basically have 1 month in a week. How many of you guys would love to have 21 days in a week? How do you do that? Are we not sleeping? Like, what does that mean? I don't know how to do it, but I need it. Okay. Here's the coolest thing. This is not about, and I'm going to give you guys some stats. I want you to write this down, and you might have to do some thinking about what this might look like for you. But I'm going to tell you something. When I started implementing this, I got more done. I spent more time with my kids. I spent more time with my husband. My house was cleaner than it had ever been, and I slept so damn good. Does that sound like something that we all really want and need in our lives? Yes? Yes. Okay. So the 21-day work week is basically creating 3 days in 1 day of time. And this is basically what Ed said. He said, when most people's brains like reset, they're like, oh, it's nighttime and I wake up in the morning and it's a new day. And we're always waiting for a new day. How many of you guys are like, I'm always waiting for a new day? Or I screwed up by Wednesday, and so I'm just waiting for Sunday to come so I could rock Monday. Like, we're always waiting for this mental reset, right? Because we're already getting frustrated, and you have to grow, okay? You have to grow. You can hear Lucy crying. Dad's putting her to bed, okay? So this is how that 3 day, so we're gonna talk about a 3 day first, okay? So breaking up each day into 3 days, it looks like this. It goes from 6 a.m. to noon. Okay, that's day 1. Day 2 is noon to 6 p.m. And then day 3 is 6 p.m. to midnight. Okay, and so what you're going to do is, what if from 6 a.m. to noon, that was 1 day. So you're basically going to compress 1 day's worth of stuff, 1 day's worth of work into that period of time, okay? Then you're going to do it again from noon until 6, and then again from 6 until midnight. And I want to explain to you guys what this looked like for me, okay? So obviously I have children. There's organizing that has to happen, but this is what happened. I woke up earlier than I had been getting up. So I got up earlier, and I was so freaking intentional with what I needed to do that the kids' stuff was done right away. I was dressed. I put makeup on and a bra. That's a big deal, okay? We got out the door. I was listening to podcasts while I was driving. I was using my time like just so smart, because I knew that I had to come home after I dropped everybody off and did all that kind of stuff. And I had stuff to do, and I had to get it done by noon. Because then when noon comes, I have to leave to go get my kids at 2:30 to start that whole process again, be home by 4:30, do the whole feeding and the craziness and whatever, and put them to bed. So obviously there's some overlapping of stuff like that, but I'm going to, and listen, don't get me wrong. You will never hear me say that I am a part of the 5 a.m. club. I would rather wax my bikini line than get up at 5 a.m. Like, I am not created to wake up when it is still dark. There's nothing that I like. Dude, like, it's the worst, okay? But naturally, I have my alarm set at 6:30, so I just lay there and just hope that 7 o'clock alarm goes off, and I push it. Does anybody else like a snoozer? I'm a snooze girl. I have 3 alarms, so that way I can tell how much I need to snooze, okay? But when I'm looking at my day like this, I was so much more intentional, okay? When I picked my kids up, I plugged my phone in to charge. I was so much more intentional about spending time with them, which I've gotten really good about that. I think once upon a time, there was a time where it was this constant battle, this tug of war of me working my business, spending time with my kids. But dude, I slayed my business so hard during my first day that when my second day came and I had like a little bit of time to like get some more work done until I had to leave and I was finishing up a book, dude, I could listen to a book in like 2.5 days. All of a sudden now I'm reading or going through 3 books a week when I wasn't even finishing a book once. And you have to grow. I think when I started my business, there were not people out there, or maybe I just didn't know. Okay, let me just be honest with you. Basically, my grandparents raised me because my mom had me when she was so young. She was kind of irresponsible / like she was just working a million jobs and I was just with them, okay, due to whatever the circumstances were. And I remember we would watch Oprah. Did anybody watch Oprah when they were growing up, or would be like playing? And Oprah would be like, Oprah's book club, we have a secret. We're going to be going to the secret. And I remember my grandma just talking so much shit about like these books, this self-help and like shrinks and like therapy, and so stupid. And like, it was just so taboo and wrong or whatever. And I think it's definitely like a generational thing that I never knew that there were resources to unsuck yourself. You hear that now about like healing generational trauma and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you that most likely, unless you come from lineage of entrepreneurs, of people who, entrepreneur means willing to take risk. Entrepreneur does not mean starts a business. Entrepreneur just means willing to take risk when everybody else is not. So unless you come from a lineage of people who are willing to take risks, chances are that as soon as you start doing something risky, AKA starting a business, they're not really going to be super supportive about it.
Okay, of course I had to look this up because when she said that entrepreneur just means that you take risks, I obviously, yeah. So I looked it up. According to dictionary.com, it says an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and manages an enterprise, especially a business, usually with considerable initiative and risk. So now we're just making up definitions because it definitely doesn't mean just that you take risks. Also, again, putting her family members out there, like my grandma was so close-minded, like she raised me. Bless her heart, she freaking raised who I am as a person. Like, you can't even have the decency to talk nicely about the person who raised you? Anyways, putting her grandma on blast and then using it to fit her narrative that she's trying to push onto the other people, that the people closest to them, the people that claim to love them the most, probably won't support them because they're so close-minded. That's the point she was trying to get across here. The people who are trying to talk you out of it, it's because they don't know any different. They grew up in a different generation, so they may not support you.
So what do? I literally talk to nobody. And I listen to books and I listen to podcasts of people telling me that I can do it because I don't have anybody else. And eventually you guys are going to get connected to people in this business. You're going to find the most incredible human beings that when you're literally like, I don't think I can do this anymore, they're going to be like, shut up, go eat something, take a poop, and come back because you've got this. And those are the kind of people that you want in your life.
No, because those are the people that are just as brainwashed as you. When you're starting to question it, you're starting to come out of that brainwashing. You're starting to exit this groupthink. Like, that's a good thing when you're starting to question things. What's not a good thing is seeking advice from people around you who all believe the same thing. You need an unbiased source when you seek advice from people. People who are also in the MLM with you and financially benefit from you and like don't want you to exit the MLM, those are not the people that you want to seek advice from. They have an ulterior motive. Whether it's intentional or not, they have an ulterior motive.
That's what I have. If I would not have had in my life with this business during this year with what happened with, I wanted to dig my head into a hole. There was Zooms where I couldn't even like hardly talk. They were speaking and I was like, God, they're so well spoken. I don't even know if I can like form sentences at this point. I'm just like, thank God people know that I'm like, okay. And that I have things to say. Okay. But I'm just saying, you guys, you definitely need those people in your life. Okay. So now what was crazy, what happened on my second day, On my second day, I got hella work done in 2 hours. I got my kids. They were fed. They were clothed. They went to bed. I read stories. I was reading Disney books. I put them to bed. And then I cleaned and I did this and I did that. And I maybe wrote down a couple things that I needed to do for tomorrow. And then I went and I laid in bed and I watched Grey's Anatomy with, because that man is addicted. I don't care what he said. He stayed at my mom's house this weekend in Illinois. My mom goes, we watched Grey's Anatomy together. And I was like, that was something you never thought you would say.
Okay, so what she's telling them is that they need to be working an 18-hour day and getting 6 hours of sleep at night. And somehow through working an 18-hour day, she still had time to watch Grey's Anatomy with her husband and then wake up at 6 a.m. and do the same thing. That sounds exhausting. That doesn't sound like anything I would want to do. And sure as heck doesn't sound like time freedom. All right, you guys, I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to end part 1 here. But definitely come back for part 2, maybe part 3. I don't know how I'm going to split this up, but definitely come back because it gets really juicy. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time that I post. If you'd like to join my Facebook group, it's called The Light at the End of the Pyramid. And of course, as always, if you'd like to follow me on all social media platforms, you can find me at TheJessicaHickson. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Moving slow